Hi, this is Brian French, and welcome to the Marketing Freak Show. Today's subject is what we're going to be talking about is law firm internet marketing. And so this program is devoted to lawyers and how to grow their business using the internet. Where we start with most people is to really look at the big picture of marketing. And so we're going to have two different sessions. There's going to be a part one and a part two of internet marketing for law firms and attorneys. This first section we're going to be talking about the big picture, the big issues that attorneys are dealing with. Marketing is all about preparation and getting prepared to meet your best prospect and client and giving them an offer that is most appealing to them. So in the spirit of preparation, here's a quote by Abraham Lincoln. If I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend 6 hours sharpening my axe. So this first part we're going to be talking about is how to sharpen your marketing axe and how to really get prepared to deal with your best legal prospects on the internet. You can reach me at brian@floridawebsitemarketing.com, or you can visit our attorney website, attorneywebmarketing.net. When you look at the big picture of the legal profession, it is an industry that has grown in competition significantly over the last 30 years or so. The number of attorneys in the United States has increased about 138%, while the number of people in the United States has increased a more modest amount, about 35%. So you can see that the numbers of attorneys from 1960 was 285,000, and now we've almost grown a million more attorneys. We have 1.2 million attorneys in the United States. And one way to look at this is how many consumers, how many people in the U.S. Did each attorney have to market to? Well, the number of per capita potential clients for attorneys has declined from 628 people per attorney to now a level of 251 attorneys. And if you were to break that down further by saying, well, how many people are currently employed and earning an income, the number is even smaller. So it's like 130 prospect for each attorney. So obviously some people are retired and then other people are underage, and so that gives you a smaller number than the 251. Part of the reason that these numbers are so dramatic has been the increase of females attorneys in the last 20 or 30 years. If you look back 30 years ago, there were only maybe 5% of the attorneys were females, and so the growth of women in the legal profession has added to the number of attorneys. So the current ratio is about 30% of the attorneys are female. So it's gone from 5% to 30% participation of females in the legal profession. If you look at the big picture of marketing back in the 1980s, 90s, and up to 2000, the number one method for small businesses, including attorneys, to get their message out was the Yellow Pages. The Yellow Pages were an incredibly efficient way to advertise your practice, put an ad in, it would run for a year, and virtually all small businesses generated a significant portion of their revenues through the Yellow Pages. It would make the phone ring and would generate revenue. Since then, since 2000, it used to be 80% of the searches for professionals like an attorney were done in the Yellow Pages. But since 2000, there's been a significant growth of using the internet as a tool for people to find a professional. So it's gone from 20% internet to 80% of the method to find an attorney are now using search engines. So internet search has replaced the Yellow Pages. Only 20% or less now are using the Yellow Pages to find a professional. The other thing that a small practitioner should recognize, and what they probably have observed in their community, if you're in a market and you probably have maybe 5 or 7 law firms that spend a considerable amount of money on TV advertising. And so it's important to recognize that a lot of these larger firms have excess capital to invest in brand building. So when they put an ad on TV about their law practice, they don't even expect to earn that money back. So 80% of the advertisements that you see on television are actually money losers. So the dynamics and the business model is much different for a large firm that's brand building versus a small firm that needs to generate a high return on their investment. Obviously small firms cannot compete in such an environment where there's such a high failure rate and such a large capital investment. The other factor that's important to recognize is that all media channels are fragmented. There's many more television channels today than there were 30 years ago. There's many more specialty magazines. There's many more specialty newspapers. And so there's not one source that you could advertise and get your message out to a large number of people. There are many niche channels. And so it's fair to say that if you want to replace the marketing exposure that the Yellow Pages once provided, that you will have to do 3 to 5 new things to replace the Yellow Pages and to account for this fragmentation in the marketing world that we see. The good news for the smaller and solo practitioner law firm is that you can compete, but the rules and the circumstances are much different. Success in internet marketing is not about spending money and mass marketing. It's all about creativity and reaching a niche market with a specific offer that people are excited about and that they consider irresistible. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. Smaller companies definitely need to be innovative and creative. Larger firms have a real difficulty in doing that. And if a small firm can apply their creative energies and create new pathways to do business, they will take market share from a larger competitor, even though that the larger competitor may have more capital. And so that is the real opportunity. But small firms must embrace these new formats. They must be very patient, and you have to kind of understand that some of these platforms will produce a very high return on investment and others will not. And the inside baseball story is that you really don't know until you start going down these pathways and applying your skills and creativity of which ones will succeed and which ones will not. It's important to keep in mind that you have to accept the idea of some of these ideas will not pan out and they'll actually call them failures. But if they're low-cost failures, then that is something that you should really embrace. So, have a checklist of 10 things you want to do, and things that don't work, you simply put a line through and you move on to the next one. You have to explore as many opportunities to find what is the strongest demand in the marketplace as far as your particular strategy. It's a new world of marketing, so most of these marketing channels were not available 20 years ago. And so, you have to use these newer tools to grow your business to make up for the loss of the Yellow Pages. So it's obviously things like Google pay-per-click, Google Maps, organic search engine optimization, peer-to-peer marketing, is marketing your niche law practice to other lawyers within your community. So maybe you're a business attorney and you want to get referrals from a bankruptcy attorney, or maybe you're a bankruptcy attorney that wants to get referrals from a business attorney. So there are many complementary type of relationships within the legal profession that you should pursue and actually create a marketing plan to develop over a period of time. Obviously, web development and creating a appealing website that leads to conversions and revenues. Digital brochures is something that's very, very new. You can actually create digital magazines and brochures that are fully interactive and that have YouTube videos running in them and that have animation. And this is a very, very new technology that we're working in. Things like social media and growing your business by creating a network of like-minded professionals can be important. So LinkedIn is a business-to-business platform, and Facebook is more of a business-to-consumer platform. So public relations, article writing, YouTube videos is a very important way to get your message out and to show your sensitivity towards clients. Having a radio show like we do is something that people can do, and it's a very modest cost, but it does require some creative energy and commitment. So we can go on, and so there's you can create meetup groups, which are local groups that you develop to build networking and community ties and relationships. But what's really important that as you look at all these particular type of things that you can do is that these are just tools. These are your tools. The real expertise is taking those tools and becoming a craftsman. So as you look at this slide and you see all these tools hanging up, those are all Facebook and LinkedIn and email marketing. The tool is not the solution. The craftsman, you are the solution. So you need to create a real process to become a craftsman in internet marketing for your law firm. So it starts with obviously investing time and discovering the tools and learning how to use those tools. Having enough energy and develop an education in the application of which tool to use under what circumstance. Energy is really required because when you start something new, there is certainly a learning curve. It will get easier over a period of time. Creativity is the biggie. That is the one element that makes your law firm unique. And so the more creative application that you can apply to your products and services and offers that you provide consumers is the way that you're going to stand apart from your competitors. Humility. What we mean by this is that not everybody's going to like everything that you say and do in the world. Okay, so maybe you write a blog article and somebody doesn't, it rubs somebody the wrong way. Well, that is something that you're going to have to accept as a professional, is that not everybody's going to appreciate all the different messages that you send out. But that shouldn't be the criteria of doing business. Look at politics. There's no political person that doesn't have adversaries and people that don't like them, but that doesn't stop them from doing their tasks. So you have to have kind of the courage to move through and understand that not everybody's always happy to get marketing messages, but that's not your issue, that's their problem. And the last thing is that you have to make your marketing messages really unique and personal. Okay, this should embed things like why you decided to become an attorney in the first place. Tell your unique story of how and why you became an attorney and why this profession is important to you and how do you help people in a most sincere way. You want to develop learning resources. So there's some tools both online and in your community that you want to look at to grow your marketing skills. If you need to learn a new technology product, there's a service called Lynda, LYNDA.com, and Lynda is all about providing you technology type of education. So if you want to learn how to build a new website, Lynda is just an awesome platform, and it's very modest cost. You also want to find people in your community that could be teachers, mentors, and fellow students. So if look at other people who were enrolled in training classes, or maybe it's a CLE program that you're involved, and build out a network of other attorneys that you can touch base with and share some of your marketing experiences. If and when all these items are too much of a burden for you, you have to look at outsourcing. If you don't have the time, energy, and tools, then you need to hire people that have the experience, and deploying that capital can be very important. And looking at the big picture, what you want to do is be an engineer and create a marketing plan that takes into account all the different tools that are available to you and where you are in different skill sets to start constructing a custom marketing plan for your law firm. So this is something that we offer as a free consultation to all law firms that want to develop an internet marketing plan, and you can reach me and have a 1-hour free consultation by calling me at 813-944-3190. You can email me at brian@floridawebsitemarketing.com to arrange for personal consultation. This concludes our discussion about the big picture issues that attorneys deal with every day, the issues of heightened competition and how to compete against large entrenched law firms in your community. The next session that we're going to be talking about will be my top 10 tips on how to grow your law practice on the internet. So please look at the next presentation on the Marketing Freak Show, and thank you for joining us. Have a great day.